Welcome to 100 Proof Radio with Jay Wesley, your weekly journey into examining your spirit choices and social etiquette in different settings. Do you know the written and unspoken rules about ordering and consuming alcohol during a night out on the town with your friends, at office holiday parties, or when hosting at home? Well, pour your favorite drink and get ready for an unfiltered, enlightening, and comfortable ride. Sip back and relax. And welcome to 100 Proof Radio with Jay Wesley.
Welcome to yours truly, Jay Wesley, on 100 Proof at our new home of Rolling Out TV. Atlanta has become the booming city of the South based on its nightlife, starting with countless adult entertainment offerings, freak-nic in the 90s, and a boom of nightclubs in the 2000s. However, the nightlife has been scaled back with strict laws and policies. Cocktail Chronicles and its 300,000 followers want to know, do politicians respect and value the nightlife of Atlanta? Atlanta primary elections will come to a close next week. The candidates have campaigned and informed the public with their proposals for our neighborhoods, education, and public safety. However, did any of them consider nightlife within their campaigns? We will lead a live, healthy, mature, and fun conversation of how alcohol may play a part in politics. The purpose of this panel is to allow political figures to discuss their perspectives on Atlanta's nightlife and whether or not it is a priority on their agenda for the up-and-coming elections. Do politicians understand the revenue that nightlife generates here in the city of Atlanta? And over the years, the spike of people transporting here due to the robust nightlife. We will also touch on the number of politicians in the Atlanta area that have received DUIs in recent years. So I'm going to take a moment and introduce my first guest, my good friend, Erica Thomas. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, Jay.
No, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. So tell us, what was your initial thought of hearing this conversation?
Whenever I hear cocktails and conversation, I always know that it's going to be a good conversation. So I knew that regardless of it being about politics and nightlife, I knew that you were going to make sure that we had good questions and that we were represented well. But people don't know about Jay is that even though he may be a radio host and he may be into Cocktails Chronicles, he also makes sure that he volunteers on a lot of local campaigns and he helps to get a lot of people elected, just like me. I mean, he knocks on doors for me and makes sure that people get elected. And if they don't answer the door, he bangs on that door until they come. I'm telling you, he's the best person. And if he sees them come outside to like get their mail and we're on the same street, he'll be like, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am, I tried to knock on your door and you didn't come. Excuse me, we need to talk to you right now. So you are definitely key in politics.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, your district, what you're running for.
Well, my name is State Representative Erica Thomas.
And we have a cocktail here for you, too.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if I can do that on camera. Can I take that on camera? Well, it's after 5, so I'll take that.
That's going to be a question for later.
Hey,
Why can't politicians drink on camera?
It. Well, my name is State Representative Erica Thomas. I was elected in 2014. When I was elected, I was one of the youngest to ever be elected in all of America. And I'm also still one of the first foster children to ever be elected in America. And I'm happy and I'm proud of that, because there's 15,000 foster children in Georgia alone. And to be one of the only to ever be elected in Georgia is an amazing feat. And so I represent South Cobb County, which is Smyrna, Austell, Mableton, and Powder Springs. I'm so proud of my district. This year, we fought really, really hard against the Republicans, and we passed funding education in 2018. So Cobb County is going to get $10 million towards education.
Congratulations.
I'm excited about that.
So, for you all out there listening, we are in the midst of our Shake It Up segment. This is where we're going to go back and forth, indulge and right into the conversation. However, our next segment is Causing a Stir. That's where you can chime in and ask your questions, but you have to go to Rolling Out's Facebook page and type in your question, and we are monitoring the question there. So, Erica, let's talk about your particular district. Does your district have a robust nightlife?
No, we don't really have a robust nightlife. We have a couple of different things in my district. We have Mexico Lindo. We have a different couple of things, but we don't really have a robust nightlife. And I hate it because a lot of people are going all the way and traveling all the way to Atlanta for nightlife. And so I want to make sure, and I would invite anyone that wants to build a lounge or a nightlife in my district. We are here for it. We're zoned for it, and we'll help you with that. Because I invite nightlife into my district.
All right, I've come out there for a party of some of yours. But
Yeah.
right now, we're in the midst of our first commercial. This is our sip break, and we're going to bring to you our sponsor for the evening. As you can see here, JR Revelry, Mr. Rick Tapia. How are you, sir?
Doing well, Jay. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. So everyone, my name is Rick Tapia. I am the founder of JR Revelry Bourbon Whiskey. It is a small batch award-winning bourbon, very smooth and tasteful. This evening we're going to kind of start off light. It is spring, summer. It feels very warm outside. So the cocktail we're going to be making this evening is a simple one. It's going to be bourbon and lemonade. We'll start with a glass of ice. We will pour about an ounce of bourbon, JR Revelry, award-winning bourbon for that matter. And again, you can always either take this up or take this down. Really depends on your taste preference of how you enjoy your cocktails. I've got some Simply Lemonade here, which is again very nice, very easy, and complements and works well with the bourbon. And you can do a little stir on this cocktail. No need to shake it. Take a little spoon and just kind of spin it around. And after that, we're ready for a sip.
All right, excellent. And so I'm going to give it a try. Erica says she's not.
Should I give it? I'll give it a try. Why
Come
not?
on. Cheers.
Cheers,
Pleasure to meet
cheers.
you.
Yeah, why not give it a try?
Absolutely.
I love it. Very crisp, very refreshing.
Yeah.
It seems like something to have on a nice summer day
It's great.
in
Absolutely.
the backyard on the porch.
Definitely.
So tell us, Rick, how have you been impacted by government and elected officials being on the manufacturing distillery side of things?
Absolutely. First thing I would have to say is thank you very much to all of our representatives. Last year was a huge year here in Georgia within beverage alcohol. The passage of SB 85 and the changing of some very outdated laws with regards to breweries and distilleries being able to sell direct. So it's a game changer. It's a game changer for the industry here in Georgia. It's a game changer for small businesses such as myself. Prior to that law changing, we as manufacturers or brand owners were really limited to just one customer, and that was a distributor. For anybody that's a small business or any business person for that matter, when you're limited to one customer, it's tough. It doesn't make it impossible, but it makes it more difficult. That being said, with the law changing, we're able to go to potentially thousands of customers because now people can visit our breweries and distilleries. They can learn about the manufacturing process. They can learn and meet us, learn about the products we're creating, taste, enjoy, and then most importantly, purchase.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be able to vote on that bill and the brunch bill as well.
Correct. That's
so
a new
this
one.
year we voted so that we can take it down to 11 a.m. when people will be able to consume on Sunday. And I was one of the leaders in that bill. I don't know if you saw the front page of AJC. They had me up there.
I missed
and
that.
Yeah, I said,
well,
you know
thank
what?
you.
Yeah,
Double
we
thank
need
you
it.
then
Yeah.
for that support.
Absolutely. But one of the points he brought up, Erica, was the fact that the distilleries were one of the last in the country to be able to sell on premise to people that was visiting their breweries. Why did it take Georgia so long to make that
It's so
simple
crazy.
change?
It's a real simple change, and it supports so many of our small business owners. But Jay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We're in the Bible Belt. we are in the Bible Belt,
Right.
and we have so many people that are saying that, oh, we don't need this down here in the Bible Belt. We don't want to offend anybody by be selling these in the brewery. But at the end of the day, we are the number one state to do business in. And if that's the case, then we need to support our small business owners. And so that's why we push for that legislation to be able to support you all so that you can sell to everybody. It shouldn't be limited to you who you're able to sell to. And so I was happy to be able to support that bill. And I was happy to be able to support the brunch bill and make sure that we can be able to sell alcohol on Sundays at 11 a.m. instead of
Amen to
12:30.
that. For the Bible people out there watching, amen.
Amen.
Because when I first moved to Atlanta in 2010, you couldn't even purchase liquor on a Sunday here
Yeah,
in
you
Georgia,
couldn't.
or
Me
at least
either.
Atlanta. So it was good to see that change also take place. So how have you seen the nightlife change? When did you move here, Erica?
I moved here in 2009. 2009.
And how have you seen the nightlife change?
I've seen
Since
it
you've been
change. I've seen it change substantially. I want to make a comment. It's really a really
Okay.
funny story if you want to hear it. We were on the House floor and we were debating the brunch bill, right? To change it from just 12:30 to 11 a.m., which is really funny. And it was going back and forth and back and forth. People really were upset about us moving it to an hour earlier, even though these business owners, they want to be able to sell
Right.
alcohol whenever they want to. That's all millions of dollars that they could be able to have. And so a guy got up and I said, we need local control when it comes that was what we were voting for. Not even for us to pass it, but for the local entity to be able to want and vote. City council can vote, yes, we want it, or Cobb County can vote and say they don't want it. And this guy got up, Bible Belt guy, got up and he said, you know what? That's how you want local control, right? But God gave local control to Adam and Eve, and look what did. He said that. Oh, when I say I pressed my button, I wanted to speak, and the speaker recognized me, and I said, the first miracle that Jesus ever performed was turning water into wine.
at a
And
wedding.
we know not the
Right.
day nor the hour that he performed that miracle. So we can't put a day or hour on that as well. And everybody started clapping and laughing. And I believe that's why the bill passed.
Excellent. So, what are your thoughts on hearing this when you're talking about revenues and just 1 hour? Is there a possibility of the Atlanta City Council, and I know that you're not on the Atlanta City Council, but can you foresee them extending the hours for the Super Bowl, nightlife hours,
Oh.
consumption hours for the Super Bowl in 2019? Do you think it's going to be the same struggle that you just spoke about on their floor, or do you think this will be an easy passing?
You never can really say what's going to be easy and what's not. I've had plenty of bills in the state house, and I thought that it was going to be easy, and I get there, and it's like, you don't understand. Like, this is an amazing thing for the people. And so, but I do believe that we have an amazing people in the city council of Atlanta, and we have even more an amazing mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms. And when you think about that, it's about economic development.
Right, absolutely.
That's what it's about.
How much more
Yeah.
money is going to
And it's
potentially
about
generate
making
for the
money
city.
for our city and making money for our constituents. And it even boils down to giving our constituents a choice. If you want to stay out till 3, if you want to stay out till 4 on Super Bowl, which only comes once in a lifetime,
Absolutely.
you should have that choice to be able to do that. And with that being said, then yes, I do believe that the Atlanta City Council will vote the right way. I believe that they will vote the right way. See, I'm putting good graces on them.
Right, thank you.
And I do think that they will vote the right way when it comes to the Super Bowl because it's so important, especially during that time. That is probably one of the biggest money makers that it will be for our city when it comes to nightlife and when it comes to lounges. They will make so much money if we can extend those hours, and I hope that they will definitely do that.
Before we introduce our next guest, what do you think would be a reasonable hour? Is 24 hours too extreme to be able to stay open through that week?
I've been to
what's reasonable?
different places all over the country, and I've been to different places all over the world. And I've seen where people can act in a sustainable way where they can be open until 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. A Caribbean, carnival. You've been to those Caribbean carnivals, and people have been able to sustain themselves. But I think it's a choice. I think it's a choice. And if you have an amazing establishment, a sound establishment that can have enough security and have enough control where they can be able to say, this person needs to stop drinking or this person can continue, I think that they have the choice to be able to say, yes, we can stay open until 6 a.m. or we can stay open until 5 a.m. because it's what the people want. Because at the end of the day, these elected officials are elected by the people. And the
Right.
people say they want to stay out all night or because it's more about them than it is about us.
Absolutely. See, there it is. As you all may know, I am president of the Atlanta Nightlife Alliance. And as Erica just stated, we must galvanize ourselves so that we can make this proposal to the Atlanta City Council to have extended hours for the Super Bowl. We still have our Cause in a Stir segment coming up next. This is where each and every one of you can ask questions. So be sure to go to Rolling Out's Facebook page and type in your question there, and we will be happy to answer your questions for you. Meanwhile, we have our next guest in the studio. State Representative Haigler. Are you still our state representative?
No, I'm running for Secretary of State.
Okay, I wasn't aware that you stepped down, so you're running for Secretary of State. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the position you're running for.
So I am Dawkins-Haigler. The first question is this real?
Yes, it's real.
So I'll be sipping on that in a minute. But anyway, I am running for Secretary of State, and basically that particular position is over elections for the state, the chief election officer, as well as it is responsible for giving out every corporation in the state of Georgia. So if you own a business, you got to go through the Secretary of State to get your corporation papers, or if you have a professional license, whether you are a cosmetologist, a barber, massage therapist, physical therapist, nurse, all of the center, they all get their professional licensing from the Secretary of State's office. And so in the event that we decide to do cryptocurrency and start using it as a real means of currency here to do our business, that would also be regulated by the Secretary of State's office under the Securities Division, as well as its overall charities and nonprofits.
Oh, wow, that sounds like...
You know what? I'm going to have to stop you right there because this is my colleague. And I didn't get to say hello, and I voted for you.
Oh, thank you.
Came in because this is my... Let me tell you something about her. She was very modest. She was very modest when she came in. But this one right here is a fighter. And she taught me how to fight.
All right,
and how to get up in there and say, you know what? This is what's going to happen, and this is what's not going to happen. And if you want to get between these two, you got to see me. That's that one right there.
So, D, where's your fight with Atlanta?
Thank you, Representative Erica.
That's a good segue, Erica.
I love it.
Where's your fight when it comes to Atlanta and the Super Bowl and having extended nightlife hours? What's your position on it? And I know it's mainly an Atlanta City Council matter and issue. Do you foresee this being a major issue to pass through the City Council? So first, what's your position on it, and how do you think it'll pass through the City Council?
I just personally think that anyone that's an adult should be able to party until they fall out, until they just actually just fall out. I mean, I don't see any problems with it, and I think it would be good for the economy because, back during the freak-nic days, I came up through the freak-nic days,
I didn't come up through those days. I didn't.
And so we hung out all night long. Like we would come out of from hanging out, and the sun might be coming up. So I'm accustomed to that, and we knew how to govern ourselves accordingly. Now, and I think now in this era, that would be big business. You want to hang out 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's fine because some people, they operate better in the morning. Some people are vampires. Some people are early risers. It just depends on how you want to get in on the flow. So I don't think we should do anything to hinder the excitement of the Super Bowl. And let me just tell you, I have gone to other countries where we have literally partied all night and woke up the next morning.
I was with her.
Can y'all take me next time?
I was with her. We were in Africa.
That's right. I'm just saying. So
Right.
I'm just saying. So I don't think it should be a problem. And I hope the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia and the surrounding counties of Atlanta. So whether you're in DeKalb, Atlanta, or Fulton, Atlanta, and then the surrounding counties, like where Representative Thomas represents in Cobb County, that people understand that people are going to be partying. The Super Bowl is coming to
Right.
Georgia, and not just for the Super Bowl. I think we have done a great disservice closing down nightclubs early. If people want to stay up all night, let them stay up all night.
Right. And that's a good point because what's happening
up.
is Atlanta is growing in the movie spectrum and the movies are shooting late nights. So when they get off work at 2, 3 in the morning, it's nothing for them to do. So do you think that the Atlanta City Council, as you are aware of them and know of them, will pass a measure to have extended nightlife?
I think knowing them, they'll probably do what's best for the city, and that is to get more revenue into the city. Now, like I said, I think people should stay up all night. Now, granted, I'm going to be a bed because I'm older now and I'm going to sleep, but I think those who want to stay up all night should be able to do that. And then now you just have to start lobbying right now. Get the young people now, and those who are my age who like to go out, start lobbying now.
Atlanta Nightlife Alliance, club operators, bartenders, strippers, you hear that? Y'all need to work with me so that we can start lobbying the city council to make these moves. So is it fair to say that Atlanta's nightlife have been scaled back over the years from the past to current?
Now, granted, I grew up in the freak-nic generation, so Representative Thomas has to talk about the hours now, because I don't know what time people go to bed now, to be honest with you, and what time the clubs close now.
I
just
don't know either. I don't club anymore. Let me tell you something. Politics is enough clubbing for me. They wear me out when I'm at the state house. I'm too busy trying to fight the Republicans. I don't even know. I don't go out. I really don't. It's terrible. I'm only 30 years old, and you would think that I would go out, but I don't. But I do support
Right.
Jay Wesley and the Nightlife Alliance, because even though I'm not out, I should not be suppressing the hours of people that want to do what they want to do. It's my constituents, and I'm a representative.
So would you all both say that Atlanta has become the booming city of the South in part because of the nightlife, people moving down here because they experience freak-nic and say, I want to move there, or the robust nightclubs up in Buckhead, the Buckhead Triangle, the strip clubs. How much credit would you give that component of growing Atlanta to be the city that it is?
Well, I would say that I don't know if people move here because of the nightlife, but I would say that they stay because they're able to enjoy the nightlife. People move
agree.
here because of their jobs and
I
because of
agree.
economy. But with that and being the same is that I'm here and I have things to enjoy. I came from a small town, and I know Dawkins-Haigler. You came from a small town too.
That's right.
Yes, you did.
I did.
And so when we got here, it's like, this is a whole nother life. You know what I mean? This
Right.
ain't just going to JoJo's lounge.
Right, but
you know?
but again, to my point, because of that experience,
Yeah.
it played a part in people wanting to move here.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
with that being said, and I'm not sure if I have y'all on board with me, I never hear politicians talk about the nightlife community. Y'all talk about every
Because we're condemned
component
for that. We're condemned.
of
We are.
every other spectrum of business, but y'all never talk about the nightlife, and it employs so many people. It brings so much money into the city, and it seems like we get the low end of the stick if we even get that. We get no credit.
But see what you're doing, like even this broadcast, you have to educate us. And so that may not be at the forefront of what we're thinking about, because we're trying to make sure that people have health care and trying to make sure that people are not being profiled while being black
Oh,
in,
tell it.
in Georgia. So that it may slip past us. But once you bring it back to our attention that it is a great stream of revenue for the city and for the state, then the conversation will change and people will begin to focus on that. So,
Yep.
great. It's great that we're having this conversation so that, those in the
More of these conversations
City of
are
Atlanta
needed.
can do
More of
this.
these conversations are needed, and this kind of perspective, because whenever you hear about politicians and nightlife or in club or anything like that, it's them being pulled over or them being
Right.
spotted in a nightclub, getting their groove back.
Safety,
Stella getting their
sexual
groove
assault.
back.
It's a
So
negative.
with this type of thing that you are doing along with rolling out, it's an amazing conversation, because we are never in this type of predicament where we can chill and we can relax and talk about nightlife. It needs to be said, because at the end of the day, when you think about a politician and you think about nightlife, you think about scandal.
Right. So speaking of scandal, why do you think no one from the city council accepted our invites to be here today, considering that this truly impacts them more than the two of you? Any particular thoughts?
It could have been schedule conflicts. For myself, I just came from one event. I have another event to go to tonight. So sometimes you are, stacked up with events that you can't possibly juggle them all. But I don't know why none of them responded. I guess that's a.
I mean, we got some responses of declines. We got some no responses at all. We made phone calls, emails.
I can't make
texts.
excuses for anybody else. I can't say where somebody responded or they didn't. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You got a show. It's called 100 Proof. Yeah, you're out here rolling out. Everybody knows you, and everybody knows rolling out. So I couldn't see why they were declined. But let me just be honest with you. At the end
Tell
of
her,
the
keep it
day,
100.
I'm about to keep it all the way 100 because D taught me how to do that. D taught me how to be
She's
100.
gonna put it on me.
Is at the end of the day, you have to be sound in your position. You have to be sound in your ways, and you have to be sound in what you do. And I would say that Honorable D. Dawkins-Haigler is, and I would say that I am. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, my people see me every single day fighting. They just saw me on TV fighting for the 65-year-old woman that was pulled out of
I
the
saw
car
that.
by the police. They see me fighting for Edna Ume. They see me fighting every single day. So there's no question about where my mind is and about where I am. There's no question about where D is. They've seen her fighting since, I couldn't even tell you, I say 1999. But they've seen D fighting for forever. So there's no question about where she is on this. So you may say, oh, you're on a show called 100 Proof, or you're on Rolling Out, Urban, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's no question that I'm fighting for you. So I'm going to talk about any subject that is thrown at me, because at the end of the day, I'm fighting for my people, and they know that. And D. Dawkins-Haigler is fighting for her people, and they know that.
Right.
So I don't have to question them about what show I'm on, or if I'm on with Tucker Carlson. I'm on Fox
Right.
News with Tucker
Right.
Carlson sometimes fighting him. There's no question, because at the end of the day, my people and D. Dawkins-Haigler's people, they know that we're fighting for
They
them
know
every step
y'all
of the
keep
way.
it 100. So,
keep it
D,
100.
I'm not sure if you were in. Erica made a great point, or I'm not sure if it was a great point.
What did she say?
It
But
was amazing. Not
Afraid-
just great, it was
I'm almost
amazing.
afraid, but I know whatever she said it with courage, and I'm just afraid to see what
she
said.
actually
What
did.
did she say?
She was a little scared on this.
I
So
wa-
initially,
I wasn't. I said it.
she had some hesitation with
Yeah.
taking a drink on camera.
Yeah, I did.
Why do politicians have to be afraid to drink in public or in camera?
Because this is just
Well,
lemonade.
you know what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because one of the things is many politicians and preachers need to be teetotalers, meaning you don't want to be seen as an alcoholic or a drunk or trying to influence generations of people to participate in bad behavior, perceived bad behavior. But alcohol is, it's fine in moderation as long as you're not abusing it, as long as you're not suffering from any type of a condition such as alcoholism. Let me just, even at my church, when I, this is funny. So when I was pastoring, we didn't use grape juice. We used real wine, and because
Amen.
that's just what we did. And so there are so many negative connotations and stigmas that come along with drinking that people are like, oh my God, you're drinking alcohol. Well, everybody drinks alcohol. Let me just be very clear. If you ever came down to the Capitol on any night, any reception, there is plenty of alcohol
Right.
to go around
Jesus
I
turned
think that
water
what
into
you are-
for
wine.
everybody.
But we're in the midst of our 1 minute sip, and we're going to turn it back to our sponsor tonight, JR Reverie Whiskey and Bourbon, Mr. Rick Tapia.
Once again, Jay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Rick. I'm the founder of JR Revelry, this award-winning bourbon whiskey. We're going to make another simple cocktail this evening called the Whiskey Sour.
Okay, what was
So
that?
again, take a 9-ounce glass, fill it with ice, put around an ounce of delicious JR Revelry bourbon. And again, you can graduate this to either plus or minus, depending on how you enjoy your whiskey and your mix. Some fresh squeezed lemon juice. Freshly squeezed, always better. About 3/4 of an ounce. And then some simple syrup, which is simply sugar and water. You mix this up in a shaker, which is just a way to fizz it a little bit. And then you garnish with a little cherry. And you've got a delicious cocktail. Once again, something simple, which makes the bourbon very refreshing and very appealing. But as always, and as we heard, please drink responsibly and in moderation. Cheers, Jay.
Thank you. Cheers. So let's do a cheers. You want to do a cheers with me?
Here we go.
There we go. Whiskey sour, made with JR Revelry bourbon whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. What do
Thank
you all
you.
think about it?
I think it has a
I
lovely
haven't
taste.
tasted it
All
yet.
I
Let me
have is,
see.
but just had lemonade, so
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's really great.
I love
no,
it.
I'm just kidding. It's really actually tasty. I think
Think you'll try it?
I think
after
I'll
this?
try that. Yes, I think I
Available at
actually
your local retailer. Please
will.
visit
Yes,
jrrevelry.com.
I will, and I'll spread
Oh
the
my
word.
goodness, he's like the best commercial ever. Available at your local retailer. Bring
So-
JR Whiskey.
So, Rick, you don't probably have the opportunity to be in front of politicians often in the intimate way that we are today. From a manufacturing distiller side, what would you like to see more politicians do, or what would you like from them?
So as we were talking about earlier, the first thing was getting the laws updated. And again, thank you very much for that. The beautiful thing with that is I think that we have a very exciting, very fast growing industry, and that being beverage alcohol, specifically craft beverage alcohol. And what I would ask all of our politicians, be it local, be it regional, be it statewide, is to come out and support the small businesses. As an industry here in the state of Georgia, we're very small, infantile, I would say. So we still have a lot of educating to do. A lot of people still haven't visited a brewery, still haven't visited a distillery.
Dee, have you been to a brewery?
I actually have.
Okay, Erica.
We have.
Okay.
We've toured a couple of them.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so what
why
I,
we voted for that bill. That's why we voted for that. Dee voted for it
that's-
too.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. As more people visit, as more people learn, they're able to make a better informed decision when purchasing a product and or supporting a local business. So what I always encourage everybody, especially our politicians, is if there's ever an opportunity to inform people, educate them on the fact that there are breweries and distilleries, and visit and support and bring events and people to it, the news most importantly. Again, we have a lot of educating to do of people, and the more that we talk about it, the more that we bring people to these small businesses, the faster that we as an industry will be able to grow and thrive.
And how long have JR Revelry been in existence?
So it's been in the Atlanta market for a couple of years already. Still small relative to size and distribution. You can, as I mentioned, find me in some of the larger retailers. So here in town, your Towers, your Greens, Camp Creek World of Beverages, some of the larger stores. Smaller stores, they want more faster moving products. When you're a new brand, awareness and trial are your biggest challenge. So thank you for the opportunity to grow awareness, and thank
pleasure.
you for the opportunity to grow trial.
And thank you. Do any of you have distilleries or breweries in your districts?
I do not,
Okay,
I
Erica.
don't have any.
Okay, excellent.
but I'm loving this. I'm really liking this JR Revel.
Thank you very
Revel,
much. Thank you
Revel,
much.
is it Revel?
Revelry?
Revelry. I
Yeah.
love it. I was like, bring out the Revel.
Correct.
Ah.
Correct.
Rebelizer. You're
Yeah.
D. You a rebelizer. No, you're a rebelizer. Y'all don't want to see her on the house floor. I
Right,
didn't
she
even want-
causes a stir, which is our next
I love
segment,
that. I
causing
love
a
that.
stir. And this is where each and every one of you get to ask us questions.
Ooh-wee.
So you have to go to Facebook and go to your Rolling Out page, and we will be here monitoring questions. And the first questions we have is, when considering Uber and Lyft, has that helped the city of Atlanta with DUIs, alcohol-related accidents, and etc.? Is it a positive impact for the city?
I think it's a positive impact for the city and the state. I think anytime you can catch Uber or Lyft, it is a great thing because one of the things that I saw last week, I actually went downtown on is it Auburn Avenue? It was a lot of little like nightlife because I went to speak at a little event, and they had you could leave your car there in the parking lots. And they expect for people to do that, and then Uber and Lyft will take you home, and your cars are safe there until the next day. So I just love that. Do y'all do
Right.
anything like that in Cobb County?
I think that's a great idea. Uber and Lyft is always amazing. They've always been able to, people don't understand how many DUIs they combat every single day. And just be able to say, you know what? somebody's coming to get me. And it's not my best friend from down the way, but someone's coming to get me. So, yeah, I do believe that Uber and Lyft are a great company that combats DUIs. I know so many people that grab them, and I know people that I've called for them and say, you know what, I'm calling you a Lyft and or Uber, and it combats so much trouble. So I really think Uber and DUI. No, I think Uber and Lyft for combating DUIs in such a great manner.
So as far as, well, for those of you watching who don't know, Atlanta has decreased nightlife hours in recent years. So they've taken it from 4 a.m. to 3 a.m. and I think now it's like 2 a.m. Are you all aware of any decrease in crime as a result of hours being shortened?
I haven't monitored that. Have you monitored that?
I have not. And plus, I think crime is relative to where you are and what's going on. The clubs could be closed and people are still breaking into cars and houses and, committing other acts
My
of
car
violence.
was broken into at 8 p.m. at Red Lobster off Camp Creek. So, and that wasn't past hours.
Now, a whole different story, but most of the clubs are in areas anyway that are isolated from residents that will keep you up anyway.
Yeah, zoning.
So one of the questions that's popped up on social media is recent DUIs of elected officials.
Oh, no.
Some of you all.
It's time to go. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir. Sir.
Team members from the state
just
representative. What are your thoughts of politicians receiving a DUI? Should they get a pass is what they're being asked.
Well, first of all, you should make sure you have someone that can drive you or you get an Uber or a Lyft so that you will not get arrested, because the media does not play friendly or nice when an elected official or preacher is called
Preacher.
driving
Oh,
under
my
influence.
goodness. You know what? I just thank God that he has given me the brain, the mind of discernment. I sound like D right now. The mind of discernment. But let me tell you something. I have heard of elected. We have one elected official. One state, one of my colleagues has had 3 DUIs. And she's still getting elected.
We have a city council rep, Cleta Winslow, has 2 DUIs.
And still getting elected.
After the fact. So
we've had some who've had plenty of
Oh,
DUIs,
yeah,
and right
in the house.
before Erica came to the legislature, we had one person who was the chairman of appropriations, and he continued with several chairmen, and they continued to get.
was that
arrested for
Representative Tom Taylor?
No, Tom
Oh,
Taylor.
no.
Or was that
Tom
David
Taylor-
Graves?
He stepped down
This
this
is
year.
before then.
He
We
stepped
had,
down.
we had the Ben Harbins
With
and
4
we had some
children
other
in his
We had
car.
several elected officials who were really.
So
repeat
Tom Taylor
offenders.
stepped down this time around.
So why do politicians make these stringent DUI laws that they can't even follow
Well, let me
themselves?
tell you something. Let me be honest with you. I'm going to be all the way honest with you.
She's about to jump on
I
me.
had to be real with you. Yeah, we make these stringent laws, but let me tell you something. It's less than 2% of the state legislators, senators, and representatives that get these DUIs. So let's not say that it's all of us that's out there acting crazy. No, we're supposed to be model citizens, and we're all human. We are all human. Let's not take that away. But at the end of the day, when you take that oath of office and you want to be a state representative or a state senator, then you need to be a model citizen. Let's be honest with that. And so, with that being said, is that only less than 2% of us have DUIs. I don't have a DUI. D doesn't have a DUI, thank
exactly
God.
right.
But let me just
I don't
say,
have a DUI.
you don't have a DUI, and you're going to be an elected official soon. You don't even know that yet. But what I will say to that is that the people that use their authority, because we all have a certain license plate. Let's be honest. My license plate says SR, and Senate license plate says SS. And so legally, we're not supposed to get pulled over. Legally, we are not supposed to get pulled over because we can be on official business. So they're legally not supposed to pull us over.
But
so
I
if we
just
do get
recently
pulled over,
found out that if you're in the Georgia State Legislative and you're drinking at a state legislated event, that you can't get a DUI.
No, that's
if
that's
you're
untrue.
That's
pulled
not true.
over.
That's
You can get a
untrue.
DUI if you get pulled over.
It's untrue. Now let me tell you something. That's
But
the
the
craziest.
likelihood that you get pulled over, you've got
That's
to be
it.
doing something egregious
That's
to get
it.
pulled over.
You got to be swerving from lane to lane, cussing out
Yes.
Shirley because she done cut you off. You got to be, you got to be doing all that because legally we're not supposed to get pulled over. So for you to get pulled over and get a DUI, it's got to be something definitely outrageous. And so with that being said, is that you're taking advantage of the advantage that we're not supposed to get pulled over, and you're drinking and driving. And so with that being said, when you have a child, right? And you have a kid, and me and Representative Dawkins-Haigler, she has a child as well. And with that being said, you are supposed to look out for your children, and you're supposed to say, you know what, I want to be a model citizen for my kids. I want to make sure that I do the right thing so that my kids don't see this. Or even you have a bunch of mentors, Jay Wesley, and so you are a model citizen because you want to make sure that your mentees don't see you acting crazy. And so with that being said, when you have 56,000 people, and if you're a senator, you have 250,000 people that are under you and that are looking up to you, you need to be even more of a model citizen. And so for you to get pulled over for a DUI is huge, and maybe one time you messed up, the second time is terrible, but at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're lawmakers and we're legislators, so we need to not only enforce the law, but uphold the law as well.
Right. So
that's why I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking of this this JR
well, I'll drink it for you,
I'm
Erica.
not drinking none
I'll
of
drink
this
it for you.
because I don't have a driver tonight.
Our next question is, why did Mary Norwood campaign so hard on Atlanta's nightlife?
What did she say? Tell me what you mean campaign hard. What did she say?
Well, she did.
She lost, but
she was one of the only people that reached out to the Atlanta Nightlife Alliance or not alliance, but that whole community, and offered to extend the hours. Just told them that she would be there for them, made promises
poor
to
baby.
that community.
So many people say so many things when they're running for office. Right now, I have 3 people running against me, Jay. I have 3 people running against me. D, you got people running against you too. People say so many things. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build a new brewery for J.R. Beverly. I'm going to make sure Rolling Out has 18 different locations, and I'm going to make sure Jay Wesley has 18 different. Let me tell you something. People say so many things when they're running.
Really?
They say so many things when they're running. I'm going to make sure this and this and this. And you know what I say? It's not what you want to do or what you're going to do.
You have the power to do.
Let me tell you, so what do you have the power to? And it's what you have done.
Right.
I don't want to hear about all these things that you want to major do, and this is so important to me. It's about what you have done. That's why I tell my, don't look at my website. Don't look at Mary Norwood's website. Google me. Google me. Look at all the things that I have done. Look at all the things that Representative D. Dawkins-Haigler has done. And you compare me to the other people, and then you vote.
That's right. Check the record.
Check the record. Check the record. See what we have done when it comes to Atlanta's nightlife. See how many things that we have done in the nightlife. Every time I have a victory party, or even D. Dawkins say we have a victory party, it's at Pizza Bar. It's at lounges. It's that thing we're trying to make sure we build the business. My victory party is at Caribbean Connection, which is a new restaurant.
Make sure I get that invite.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get the invite. But I got to be on the low with it because my opponents, they're going to be mad at your place. They're going to be so mad I'm going to win by 85%. But anyways, it's at a new lounge that just opened up 2 months ago. Because I want to support them. I've been doing that pizza bar for the last 3 years, but you know what? It's a new place, and I want to support them. And so it's about what you have done, not what you think is right or what you're going to do. And so Mary Norwood can say, oh, she's going to support nightlife. She's going to do so many things. She wants to win at the end of the day.
So, Dee, this next question is for you. And the question, I lost the question.
I can ask a question if you need me to.
No, please don't let her ask a question.
I'm darn it, I lost the question. But the question was, after being part of this show, will you participate more in supporting the nightlife community in the Atlanta metropolitan area?
Yes, now that it's been brought to my attention that, this is something that people want, and people want to have options made available to them, and they don't want to go home at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yes, this is something that I would definitely look at. But you really need to look at the ones who's handling the ordinances, and that's typically your city officials and your county officials.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is that okay? We got producers out there. They looking at me like, ask a question. Jay, I have a question for you. So what makes you so passionate about the nightlife? What makes you so passionate about making sure that we support the nightlife?
That's a good question.
Well, again, it's a platform or community that does not get as much attention. I once was a club owner, and there are so many
And I worked for
processes.
him. They didn't nobody say that today.
Yeah, she
But
used to work.
nobody said nothing. But I used to work for Jay. I was his events manager before I was a state representative.
Boogaloo Lounge, you all may know it
Yep,
as
yep.
now,
I used to work for
across the
him.
street from Mary Max.
He was a very strict boss. I'm telling you that
so
right now.
you got
But
to.
anyways, back to the question. Tell me why you support this so much.
So having been a previous club owner, there's not much support and assistance out there, but the trail to open a club is so long. I mean, there's so many check boxes that you have to check in order to open up, where a lot of that can be streamlined and be a shorter process. When a person because you got to own the real estate or have the property first, but it takes 6 months for the city of Atlanta to go through all of their checks
Wow.
and balance systems before
Wow.
you can get your liquor license. So you literally may be paying $5,000 or more a month for rent, and you can't make money off of it. Why? Because the city of Atlanta has a 6-month process on average before you can get your liquor license.
Not just city of Atlanta. The restaurant where I'm having my victory party at, they were denied their liquor license, and I had to step in and help them out because one of the lady that applied for it, she had a misdemeanor.
Right.
She had a misdemeanor on, and you can have anything
Right.
on your record to get a liquor license. And I had to step in and help them. I'm like, look, y'all better have some kind of license by the time we have our victory
Right,
party.
right,
But
exactly.
yeah, I had to step in and help them in order to get their liquor license. So thank God
And so
now
that's
they
one
have
thing
it.
that politicians can do is to help streamline that process to make it shorter. Imagine you paying $5,000 a month on rent, but you can't open to serve food or pour
Yeah.
drinks because you're waiting on them to move their slow feet down at City Hall. You know, that's unfair to us. So that's why I'm ultimately passionate about it. And then ultimately, the industry on the backside of things is not as diverse as I would like for them to be. So I have the goal to make it more diverse. And then we don't support and give back to the community as a whole, as a nightlife community, to the patrons that support us. So I want to galvanize everybody together
And
so
the
that we can
nightlife
do
community
good
has
in the
support
hood.
has to support us as well.
Right.
And that's one thing that they don't
Yes.
know. A lot of business people don't know that, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. But you don't support your
Right.
your
What do
local, your local elected officials. And so, when you come to us and you want and you need this and you want this and you know that, but you've never asked me for anything until you're in your harm's way. And so that's why I'm happy that you're having this, Jay, because you're so involved politically. And people need to know that it's so important that you're involved politically because, you can buy your Maserati,
Right.
you can buy your Bentley for so much, but you can support a campaign for so little and have so much in return because you supported that elected official and they will remember that until the end of their career.
And that's-
Speak, Representative.
Right.
Tom.
And that's a good point.
Hey.
So
Yes.
Atlanta Nightlife Alliance, we are having a mixer on next Monday, May 21st, I believe it
It's
is.
the
No.
21st.
Yeah,
Is
May
it
21st. That's the
Monday?
day before the election,
Election,
night before
right.
the election.
And
Yep.
hopefully
So you all
everybody
should
will
come
get up
through.
and vote on Tuesday.
I don't know about that. I might be calling people trying to get them to make sure they vote. But I might come
It's
out.
going to be at Nancy's Pizza in Limburg. So it's
Okay.
a brand new pizza
Okay.
spot.
Oh, wow.
So and it's from 11 a.m.
Black
to 1
owned?
a.m.
Is it black owned?
It is black owned.
Okay.
I'll be there then. I'm just joking.
So 11 a.m.
I'd be there either
to 1
way.
p.m. So, and we'll have a lot more of these mixers throughout the year to come and forthcoming because the Atlanta Nightlife Alliance is actually new. I founded it, and it's been very successful.
Dee,
thus
have you ever
far.
been to one of the Cocktail Chronicles mixers before?
Yeah, she has.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
Down
I
at
have
BQE.
so much
Yeah,
fun.
BQE, yeah.
I have so much fun at those Cocktail Chronicles. I'm yelling in the background. I'm like, oh, when they're back. But
You hosted one.
yeah, I
think.
did. But
Yeah.
you all have so much diversity. You have Latinos. You have
On the front end, there's
African-American-
diversity on the nightlife side of things, but on the back end, as far as from ownership of distilleries and breweries and who work for these liquor companies, we get tricked in food in the sense of, for example,
Wow.
thinking Puff Daddy owns Ciroc. He doesn't
Oh,
own
well,
Ciroc.
I can
You know,
tell you
he's just a
that.
representative. That's just to get us to buy in. So we have to understand marketing
But
components and
you
things
make sure
too.
that you bring out a diverse amount of people. You
Yes.
you always bring out a diverse amount of people, and I'm a super busy person. I know D is a super busy person. We're never able to get to everything that we want to get to able to do. But I know whenever I get to come to one of the Cocktail Chronicle shows, oh my goodness,
Have a good time.
it's in a good time, and I learn so much. I
Right.
learn a lot.
So, D, what would you want people to take away from this conversation tonight as it relates to cocktails and politicians?
Well, the first thing I need everyone to do is to lighten up some. Many times when people make decisions, they do after they've reached a certain age. They have to remember the kind of things that they participated in when they were younger. We also have to look at different streams of income and revenue, and not to begrudge someone of their livelihood. This seems to be a profitable thing. People come to Atlanta because Georgia and Atlanta is the empire of the South, and
Oh
so
yeah,
being the empire of the South, there are some things that come along with that, and nightlife is going to be one, as well as
Thank
having
you.
restaurants that are open late at night. But one of the things that Representative Erica Thomas said that I really want to resonate with you is that you have to support those who support you. It's very
amen.
hard to be in the trenches and in the fight when you're not getting any dividends back. And not to say it
Nope.
has to be pay for play, but you've got to do something to keep those people in office who are helping you catapult or push your agenda forward. So on next Monday, let's say Representative Thomas and I show up. Hopefully, someone can have an impromptu fundraiser for us to say, you know what,
You
we've
got
got to
it.
do something to help these people who are out here fighting for us in the trenches.
Yep.
Absolutely. And
Okay,
we've
Joe?
done that before. We've done a fundraiser for Kwanzaa Hall. We've done a panel discussion with all the Atlanta mayors. Candidates at that particular time. But right now, we are in the midst of our PSA because we want you all to know to drink responsibly and drink safe.
Please.
So here it is.
When it comes to an informative, educational, enlightening, and entertaining conversation about alcohol, ranging from pairings to safely enjoying alcohol to safe travels getting home, there's only one show you want to listen to. Make sure to tune in to 100 Proof, compliments of cocktail conversations, as well as Rolling Out Magazine. Make sure to catch it on the Rolling Out Magazine Facebook Live and YouTube platforms. Again, we want you to be informed, educated, enlightened, entertained, and most important, keep it 100 proof. The 100 Proof Show, compliments of Cocktail Chronicles, hosted by Rolling Out Magazine. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Also, take heed to that message. That's my frat brother, Brother Andrew Norton. Appreciate you doing that for us. But before we go to
What
our next
fraternity are you
segment,
in?
Alpha. I know you're a Delta, right?
Yes, my husband's an alpha.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what's up.
All right.
Tell your husband I said 06.
Okay.
So, but before we go to our On Fire segment, which is where we tell you all what's crack-a-lacking in the city, what's going on, what's popping, we're going to ask Erica, what's your last final thoughts on this conversation tonight?
I think at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we're supporting all of our businesses, and especially our nightlife businesses. People don't understand how much money it brings to our districts and our two constituents. And if our constituents say they want to get out and they want to have fun, then we should support them as well. Again, this is your state representative from District 39, which is Smyrna, Austell, Mableton, and Powder Springs. And I support everyone that's getting out and having a good time responsibly.
And how do people vote for you?
Well, you can get out and you can vote for your state representative, Erica Thomas. You can go Monday through Friday this week to South Cobb Community Center, which is located at 620 Lions Club Drive, or you can get out on Election Day and vote in your precinct, May 22nd, 2018, because we need you. Without you all, we wouldn't be here, because at the end of the day, our name is state representative, and we need to represent you.
All right, and we're still in the midst of our On Fire segment. This is what's crack-a-lacking in the city. It's whether I didn't intend to do this for On Fire, but it's what's popping in the city, and it's important that you all get out and vote. So, D, where can people vote for you, or how do they vote for you?
I'm so glad you asked. So, early voting has already started. You can go the rest of this week and vote in DeKalb County, in Fulton County, anywhere in the state of Georgia, because it is a statewide election. That means I don't care if you live in Willacoochee or you live in Savannah. You can go and vote for D. Dawkins-Haigler.
D. Dawkins-Haigler.
This is very exciting. It's a great time. You can go to my website, www.dhaigler.com.
Or Google her.
Now, Google me. That's another great thing to do. But tell everybody that you know that I'm running. Tell your mama, your grandmama, your cousins, your friends,
Aunties,
even
baby
tell
daddies,
your
mama.
enemies to go and vote for D. Dawkins-Haigler, because I'm going to get the thing straight that we need to get straight. Our voting rights and making sure that businesses can actually do business here in the state of Georgia. Because I know those nightclubs are going to need those licenses, the corporations. So come on. I need y'all to come on support me.
Vote for D. Dawkins-Haigler. Vote for someone that is for you. Not the people that say they for you, but somebody that is for you.
And who has a track record. Like you,
A
Representative
track
Thomas.
record.
I tell you, check the record.
Check the record. Google it. Don't look at no website. Website's what they put on there for you. Google D. Dawkins-Haigler and Google Erica Thomas. Because guess what? It's going to show me fighting those Republicans and fighting for you down at the state capitol.
That's right.
What do you all think, real quickly? You think Stacey Abrams gonna pull it?
No comment.
Oh,
Matter of fact, I might just open up this JR Reveille. You know what? Look, you got my phone.
wow!
My phone on the charge
I
or
hit a
something.
button there.
You got that on
Is
there?
it because she
Let me
took
get
away
that
the
phone.
Hope Foundation? Is that true? Did she do
Anybody
that?
got something?
I'm running a statewide race. I just need you to go and
My
look
name
up
is
D.
Representative
Dawkins-Haigler.
Erica
I am running
Thomas,
for
and
Secretary of
please vote
State.
District 39. Vote District 39, Representative Erica Thomas. You know,
All
and
right.
vote how you feel. You know what I mean? If you feel Erica Thomas, vote me, because I know you're gonna feel me. Because if you Google me and anybody else that's running against me, you're gonna say, "Wait a minute, she's the only one that's done anything in the district." Ain't that right, D? You're the only one that's done something for us.
You vote for Representative Erica Thomas. Vote for D. Dawkins-Haigler. And I'm
Yep.
just going to say, vote your conscience on the entire statewide ballot.
Yes.
And always do your homework and know who's for you.
Don't look at those commercials and think, oh, because I look at commercial, let me see. Oh, that commercial looks good. She cute.
So
Hey.
we are in the midst of our hotspot segment, and this is where we tell you where to go for the best drinks, the best food, or tell you what's popping.
Where's the best food, Jay?
again. So I want to ask you, where do you all go to hang out for drinks and food?
I'm not a good person to ask that because I'm going to stay home. But anyway, I do a lot of little things at home. But I do frequent places like Arizona's is in DeKalb County. It's a restaurant. They have live music on certain nights of the week. Right. Arizona's is a great place to be. So if you come out to DeKalb County, you know, we don't really... We do have some clubs in DeKalb County. But I don't frequent them. But we do have them.
Okay.
You want to
And
ask me?
Erica, where's your favorite place?
So I have a lot of favorite places. I really liked your restaurant. I really did. But I like RA Sushi. I like sushi. It's right off 12th Street. It's a really great sushi
Midtown.
place. It's outside. You get to have a good time. But of course, you got to come to my district.
And so what's in your district? What would
So you know
recommend?
what? I would definitely recommend, if I had to talk about in my district, I would definitely recommend Mexico Lindo.
Okay.
It's a great Mexican spot in my district, and a lot of people come for good drinks and good eats. Mexico Lindo is great. And of course, we have Sky Lounge. That's where I like to get down. I get down at Sky Lounge.
We're going to have to check that out. Erica.
Okay.
So what's your favorite cocktail? If you were just at home on a Friday night, you and your alpha husband, what would be your choice?
What about my Navy husband? Y'all ain't say nothing about my Navy. Y'all say nothing about Alpha. What about
So you know what?
I
Navy?
forget you, Mary.
So
Done.
we are dark liquor drinkers. So my husband is a bourbon drinker, just very, fond of bourbon. And I'm also
he would love this.
He would love this. He actually would love this. And I'm also somewhere in between Crown. I love Crown. I like
You like the Crown Apple?
I like Crown Apple. I like Crown Black. I like Crown Reserve. Yeah.
Big Crown. Okay, I like that.
She like Crown. You like so, but she didn't say nothing about Crown Vanilla though.
Yeah,
She
it's
ain't
okay.
say nothing
It's
about
okay.
Crown Vanilla.
All right, Erica, tell us what's your favorite.
What's your favorite?
Oh my goodness, you like how they put me on the spot just now like that. I don't know. You know what? I love Jesus. That's what I love. I love Jesus. But let me tell you something. The Lord did turn water into wine. So if I
Amen.
had to talk about my favorite drink, it would be Riesling. I like a little wine. I like to be able to control my movement. So I like Riesling. That's my favorite. What about you, Jay?
I love everything. But probably my favorite drink is a vodka gimlet. is probably my favorite drink. And this is going to take us into our last segment, which is usually my favorite segment. It's our International Sip segment, where we have our drink sponsor to come out and talk to us as well and give us some final
We like
thoughts.
international, don't we?
Yeah.
We international. We done been to
Y'all talk about going to
Thailand. We done been to
Africa, kicking it.
Africa. We done been to, where else we done been? We done been a lot of places.
lot of
We
places.
like Africa.
I
We
love
like
Africa.
international.
Yep. So we have Rick Tapia back at the table with us. Tell us your final thoughts on this conversation.
Get out and vote, most importantly, first and foremost.
And who should they vote for?
Erica Thomas.
Hey!
That's right.
I like him. We're gonna put a brewery in my district. We gotta talk about that after this.
Distillery. But no, again, thank you very much for the opportunity to be a
Thank
part
you.
of the show. Thank you for partaking in the cocktails. Again, for every small business, it's awareness and trial, especially within beverage alcohol. Please visit jrrevelry.com to learn more about me, most importantly, to where you can purchase the product. And cheers.
And
Support
Dee
small
said
business.
That her husband loves bourbon.
He loves bourbon.
You might have to give him a bottle.
Well, I believe these bottles will be going home.
Oh.
Got it. So there it is.
Thank
I
you
wanna-
so
Now
much.
you have to hold on to it until election evening,
Okay.
and then
Oh,
celebrate
you know
with
what?
it.
That's
Take
what
a
we'll do
picture,
election
yeah.
night. When we
Yeah.
win.
Election night
When
when
we
you
win.
you toast and post.
All right.
I like you like how you do that. Toast and post. Jay, he is learning from you. I am done. I'm done.
listening. I'm
I
listening.
love it. Toast
Kiss
and
a man.
post. You're
I want to
awesome.
thank each and every one of you for tuning in to watch every Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on Rolling Out Facebook channel, which is part of Rolling Out TV. And we want to encourage you to share this, like this, so that people can become more encouraged of how important the nightlife community is to the city of Atlanta. Be sure to follow me at Cocktail Chron, the number 1, and Chron is short for Chronicles. Meanwhile, as always,
They got to follow me too now.
we
It's
keep
Erica
it 100
Thomas.
here on 100 Proof, but where can they follow you at?
They can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Erica Thomas. It's Erica Thomas. ITSERICATHOMS.
There it is. And where can they
And they
find
can
you?
follow me at DAWKHAIG7, Dawkins7 on Twitter and Instagram, D Dawkins-Haigler on Facebook.
And remember, we are your leading source of beverage industry news. And we want to thank C. Uno Chance for the music that you're hearing throughout
Great
this
music.
broadcast today. Thank you, Chance.
Chance is awesome. Rolling out,
Our new
rolling
home.
out.
Thank you, Roland.
We love you, rolling out. You're awesome.
Yes.
Yes. Rolling out, rolling out, rolling out. I made a song.